Motorcycles, cars.
Everything that we shot is completely practical.
We're doing it right. It all comes down to one thing. How do we involve the audience? I just want to give them that thrill.
The Mission Impossible series has been notorious for all of the action and spy thrilling scenes starring Tom Cruise, and while any film of this genre can be risky to be in,
Awesome, we got it. Thank you, Tom. One and only Tom Cruise.
today we'll be covering all that Tom Cruise had to do and prepare for a role like this, as he has done a lot of his own stunts, some more dangerous than others. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Too far down, that's not good, because he was coming fast down. If you drop him too high up, it's not as dangerous. So finding the perfect blend there is challenging, and that, I think, is one of the hardest stunts that Tom's done.
And before we get into more of these moments, some trivia for you. What year was the first Mission Impossible movie released? Leave your answers in the comments down below and stick around to the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
Here we go. Ready, and 3, 2, 1, rock! That's funny.
One of the first stunts that he did was going through the glass plate, and Tom had to be very precise of his movements so he didn't slip and fall or possibly drown.
What happened is that they blew the tank out behind me first. So you hear 1, 2, then, and on 2, the tank behind me blew out, and then 3. So it took everything in my power to stay there for 3, or 1, 2, go.
Even from the second installment, Mission Impossible 2, this stunt came from Tom Cruise himself.
The shot was so critical. We had 5 cameras on the top of the cliff, and we also had a helicopter camera. And from the helicopter, I needed real close to Tom. So the helicopter very close to Tom, and the blade, you can see the blade.
And regardless of the stunt, he really does have a lot of fun shooting for this series and has along the years. Moving on to more of these behind the scenes stunts, we get to see the behind the scenes steps and what they had to do to pull this stunt off.
First take, I was standing up the hill by one of the cameras, and it seemed forever. The truck was just driving straight at him. It just looked awe-inspiring from where I was. Again, another grey hair. And he really hit it, and he went in there horizontally, and as I said at the time, if any stuntman on the bridge there had that shot on their resume, they'd be very, very proud of it as a stunt.
Burj Khalifa was one of the best scenes of all the series, where Tom did actually climb this building, having the time of his life with a smile on his face, of course.
Go!
You want me to jump further and longer so that it can pan around?
The only thing is it looked like your feet were skittering a little bit right before the jump.
In this next one, they worked with the Air Force a bit when shooting the airplane scene, where he hangs along the airplane as it's taking off.
The force of it, I mean, I was just trying to keep my feet on the ground, because I always had in my mind the image of when the airplane took off, my feet are going to come off. I'm hanging on the side of this, and the force of that wind, I mean, you see, I'm trying desperately to keep my feet on the flooring there.
And seeing it be done behind the scenes of Tom Cruise actually being strapped to this plane and just hanging on for dear life just makes it all the more real.
I just said to the camera, I went like this, and I said, let's go again, I'm ready.
He did it 8 times.
Every time it was like, holy shit.
Seems like he enjoyed it.
For Fallout, there was a moment of close call when Tom holds onto a rope that is strapped to a helicopter and he eventually free falls from it, where there were a few times that he missed.
anything goes wrong with the helicopter, or there's a huge gust of wind going one way, it changes the whole stunt.
But real quick, make sure you guys check out our Instagram page, linked down in the description. There's a ton of interview moments and memes, so make sure you check it out and give us a follow.
Okay, Greg, did you copy that? Yeah, I just got to get a couple of more, little Bambi leaps in there beforehand.
Greg, they said they're having
A little more Bambi, a little more,
Peter Pan?
I give it the thumbs up to camera. They're inside the airplane, and I'm telling him, let's go, let's go, let's go. He's pushing that throttle forward, and we are hammering down that runway, and I'm like, holy shit.
In the same film, Tom explains how he broke his ankle on set, trying to jump from building to building.
Jumps, that speed, that momentum. Here we go. Look at... And now watch that. Watch this. So you're down. Now anyone else will go, well, that's over. No. Up he gets. Up he gets. And he's running.
In the latest Mission Impossible franchise film, Dead Reckoning, there was one specific stunt that actually scares the crew behind the scenes, and Tom had to prepare well ahead of time to train for and do safely.
Doing 30 jumps a day.
Getting to a point where he was just a machine. I mean, over 500 skydives.
That's what we do. Over 13,000 motocross jumps.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
In the new film, released in cinemas this month, Cruise's character Ethan Hunt is seen speed flying. Cruise spent years training for the sequence, which is described as one of the most dangerous the actor has ever undertaken.
Thank you all very much for your help, guys.
Flying close to rocks looks quite beautiful. Behind the scenes, we were all in absolute terror, the director said. With every new installment, what creators like to do is push the bar further and further. For example, with the John Wick franchise. And it took this team a while to figure out how to not only perform this stunt, but shoot it as well. And even after this Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is released, a Part 2 is scheduled to be released on June 28th, 2024.
Tom, he's performing 3 jobs. He's the pilot, he's the camera operator, and he's acting.
Copy that, another one.
To see a helicopter just dropping out of the sky like that.
On January 14, 2019, Cruise initially announced that the 7th and 8th Mission Impossible films would be shot back-to-back, with McGuire writing and directing both films for 2021 and 2022 releases.
Days. Cut.
However, in February of 2021, Deadline Hollywood revealed that Paramount had decided to no longer move forward with that plan. It was reported that both films would be a send-off to the Ethan Hunt character.
Cycle up and the kind of training that we did, it was able to just take it to a whole new level so that we could do very extreme things with relative safety.
Anytime that you're looking at Tom through the windshield of that car, you're looking at Tom through one of 3 cameras that were attached to the vehicle. That meant Tom's visibility was like that.
In June 2023, Christopher McGuire told Fandango that Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Part 2 would not be the end of the series, and they were developing ideas for future installments. So it's safe to say that we will be seeing more of these dangerous behind-the-scenes stunts in the future.
The risk of a mid-air collision was the thing that we were really concerned about.
I'm traveling at up to 200 miles an hour, so we're always very concerned that we don't have head-to-head contact.
When he hits them, he grabs them, and that's the end of Part 2.
And as far as the answer to our trivia question, it was in 1996 that the first film that started it all was released.
We built this Fiat 500 so that it would be faster.
You could barely control the car. It was treacherous.
The Fiat, that was wild.
Some would even say the car is possessed.
So what do you guys think about all these moments? Which one was your favorite, and what are your expectations for the next installment of the Mission Impossible film? And future projects that they are thinking about. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
Filming the fight on the edge of the cliff actually seemed to be the most precarious. Wouldn't catch me doing it.
That's great right there, thank you.
First time I came here, I didn't want to get within 50 feet of the edge. Watching Henry and Tom go over, they've done so much extreme stuff in this movie that I don't think it really occurred to any of us that it was as scary as it looked.